Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of Daggerheart, The Broken Spine. I remembered what the show is called today, not like on Wednesday when I was just like, the Hunger Games, I don't know what we're doing. Good to see you all. We're down a couple of players due to life and events, but hopefully everything is going well for everyone. Why don't we do a round of introductions for those who were able to make it this evening? Let's start with Jason tonight.
Hey all, I'm Jason. I'll be playing a Stoy, our Warrior Druid multi-class. Just a fun little mushroom guy.
I have to send you I forgot to send it earlier. I did a Hero Forge of Triss holding, because now there's mushrooms you can hold in Hero Forge.
Oh.
And so I made a Triss holding. I don't know if it's really a Stoy, because it's one of the tinier mushrooms, but I'll send it to you later.
Stoy's a little bit bigger.
Right.
He's got the muscles, man.
That's right.
Strength.
Who would you like to send it over to?
Yeah, we'll send it over to Ryan.
Hello, I'm Ryan, and I am playing Mix, a single class Seraph. And I'm looking forward to tonight, and I'm glad that y'all are here and everyone that has had to deal with natural disasters is safe. And we'll pass it to Carly.
Hi, that's me. I'm in the middle of all the fires. All of them. They're not close to me. I'm just surrounded on all sides. But I still have power, so we're going to play a game.
Hooray! Escapism.
The other people are missing. Again. It's fine. Yeah. But you can find me at Curly Steichen on all the socials, and you can get some dice over on my Etsy shop at Armadillo Dice, and there's a sale going on for the month of January. So check it out, and yeah, we'll see what happens tonight.
Nice.
Back to Jeremy.
Speaking of your dice, I'm staring at a tray full of them. May you roll well for me tonight. Good energy. Hey, I'm Jeremy. You can find me here on this channel because it's my channel, but you can also find me on the socials at WH Pubs. I am playing Knots and her loyal Cragcat Kavoon. Both of us are super excited. Okay, Knots is probably more super excited about the vast hoard of treasure that we found at the land of last game, at the end of last game. So I feel like that's enough about me. Let's dive into it.
But you wore the Knots official shirt.
Oh, it's true. ADHD Indy.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so last session you guys fought a demon of avarice, a greed demon, who had a hoard of shiny gold and other items. A fairly large portion of the gold was consumed by the demon throughout the fight. However, there is still the gold that you guys managed to pull away from him, plus all of the random items that were in his hoard. But yes, the group of you had just defeated the demon. It's now a dead body with a broken neck and a contract pinned to its back, lying on the ground with black ichor blood spreading in all directions.
I feel like we need to break down how many handfuls of gold are in beer steins, because I had those beer steins that I was like scooping up gold with and like carry it away. How many handfuls of gold is a beer stein, Carly?
So you're asking specifically what Knots retrieved just in the beer steins, not what is all left over.
I mean, just specifically for this moment, because, you know, she's looking at him and there's like a little bit of, everyone can see the number crunching going on in her head. 1 + 1.
But was it goblin beer steins or dwarf beer steins?
They were dwarf beer steins. Because that measure currency
is way different.
Yeah.
I would say that that are currently in the 2 beer steins that you were holding, there's probably 5 handfuls in each beer stein currently.
Wow. think she's still stuck on 2 or maybe 3. She's still adding ones, but she'll get there.
But yeah, so there's a bunch of gold spread out all over the place, and there's a pile of items just laid out on the ground in the middle of your attack field as well. If you guys wish to investigate, or you can do whatever you want as you are in this canyon with the storm having passed and you having defeated the demon.
Nyx will walk over to the corpse and make a mark on the contract indicating that payment has been received. And while he's there, or in that area, he's going to be looking around at, what is remaining? Is there anything that looks potentially useful?
I mean, everything that's remaining looks useful. Let's just say that this demon was of a discerning type, or, got lucky. Either way, it's a bunch of gold and a bunch of what Grace had told you earlier, a bunch of magic items.
Okay. Well, I'll take them all.
We'll take them all. Okay. The first thing that you come across is a shield that is done in this very kind of intricate bronze carving work on it. It's very handcrafted, very well done. And the second that you pick up the shield, you can just feel the power thrumming within it, and you hold it around, and it's pretty light. It's not as heavy as some other items that you've used before, and as you play with it, you send it out as if you were to block something, and you notice that it sends out a pulse of a shield, a magical shield that extends out from it, and you get the idea that it could potentially help reduce damage to people within melee of you.
Okay.
It's known as a brave shield. It's got an agility trait. It's melee, does a d4 plus 6 physical damage, one-handed, and it has the feature sheltering. Using an armor slot reduces damage for you and all allies in melee with you.
That's pretty nifty. He'll put that in his pack.
I mean, I feel like that is not a thing that I care about. How about you, Astoy? And I'll glance over at the other two and notice they're just walking in place. Obviously they've got Link dead, so they can't add it to their inventory.
They can't argue.
Yeah.
We'll I kind of want to get a lay. Why don't we look at all the items? We'll lay them all out, and then we'll see how much they're worth, and then we'll sell all the ones that would be going to the other characters, and buy better shit for us, and not tell them.
Right. Because there's no chance they're going to watch this episode. So
we will have to post this episode after next week's game.
So before I forget, Ryan, speaking of things you find advantage given to you by chat. Thanks, Raven.
Woohoo. Woohoo. Yeah, so that's the first item that you see. Also spread out in front of you are a few different kinds of armor, several weapons, and then lots of just other kinds of items as well. Depending on where you would like to investigate first, or where somebody else would like to investigate first.
Just,
I think. Oh, good.
no, well, I mean, just because it would be on my mind, I will quickly glance over to see whether or not there are any Castles and Centaurs minis or dice in this horde.
Yeah, there's no minis. However,
Oh.
there is a set of gold
Oh.
dice.
If anyone draws close to them, even by accident, I'm going to throw a mug of gold at them as I scramble over to pick up the dice.
The distraction technique.
Right.
Look, there's too much gold in your face.
Pocket gold.
Pocket gold.
And then you two can go look at the rest of the stuff because I'm too busy like rolling them to see if they roll well or not, if they're well balanced.
They come up snake eyes and it kills you.
Right. Oh, look, they're cursed.
Look, they're so cursed.
I mean, that's what I was about to suggest, that since Grace is our expert here, I wouldn't trust that a demon maybe didn't have things that were cursed
Fair.
to mess with people, to have Grace kind of scan things first.
Okay, I'll run up to Grace and stare at her blank eyes and say, "Are these cursed?" And when she doesn't answer, I'll be like, "Good," and I'll go roll them.
Yeah, no, as you're messing with them, though, you do realize that there is something magical about them. And, you realize that, if you, play with them, like, over a long, over, like, a downtime, during downtime, and use that time to like really focus in on your game, and letting the dice tell the story, then until your next long rest, you can spend a hope to use a d20 as your hope dice for rolls that could somehow, some way be associated with Castles and Centaur, or yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Do these have a name or?
Well, they're not. The correct item name is Paragon's Chain, but they're just
Reskins, totally.
You do have to use a downtime move to activate
Perfect.
that effect.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
What? What's pretty cool?
All this gold you just threw at me.
Yeah, I hope don't spend it all in one place.
Well, it's mine now, so you can't tell me what to do with it.
Damn it. I'll go kick rocks.
But yes, there is still several armors, several weapons, and other just items like all over the place, all over your feet. If you would
Check out
like.
the armor.
Sure, the armor. There are two different armors that are there currently. Let me pull up my sheet. The first set of armor that you come upon is Emberwoven armor that has a base score of 8, and it's this like deep red color with like thread of orange and gold like embroidered into patterns of flames on it. And it has the burning effect. So when an enemy strikes you in melee, they immediately mark a stress as it burns them. And then the other set of armor that you find is this really fancy looking like metal armor that is like interwoven with silk. and looks very kind of elvish in make, and is known as Bellamoy Fine Armor, and it's a base 6, and it has the gilded feature. When you mark an armor slot, you may spend any amount of hope to also reduce the incoming damage by an amount equal to your proficiency per hope spent.
Wow, that seems really good.
So, those are the two different types of armor that you discover as you look over the items in the pile.
What was the name of the first one again? Sorry.
Yes, the first one was Ever. I think it was Ever. Sorry, Ever Emberwoven armor.
Gotcha. Neat.
What kind of weapons were there?
Yes. For the weapons, as you look over the weapons, you spot a whip. Like just looking them over and seeing what you have around you, you spot a whip, a sword, a pretty massive looking sword. You also spot a smaller looking blade that looks kind of immaterial. Like you can see it, but you're not sure if you'd actually be able to pick it up. Like it looks almost like an illusion itself. And you also see an axe and lace. I'm not sure what. 1 second. But yes, so there's 4 different weapons. You see the sword, the whip, 5 different weapons. The like immaterial blade, an axe, and another like very broad looking dagger. So it's like a dagger, like the length of a dagger, but it's like as broad as like almost as broad as a broadsword would be. Those are the 5 different weapons that you see spread out before you.
What do like? Can you describe the qualities of the like? Like the dagger. You said it's real broad. The blade is ephemeral.
The ghost blade is somewhere between the like immaterial looking blade is somewhere in between like the length of a dagger and a short sword. It's like kind of a knife-esque length. And it just looks very like illusion-y, like you're not sure if you'd be able to pick it up or not. It's a little funny to look at. The axe is like a double-headed axe that definitely looks like it's massive. It's got a massive post and it spreads out huge, and it looks like it'd be really difficult to throw. It is not necessarily built as a throwing axe. And you look at it and the post is done like in a whole bunch of like kind of dwarven carvings in the post of the axe. Then you have the sword, which as you like have moved around a little bit, like bits of just the sunlight that kind of gets through, like reflects off of it, and you can almost see this like flame-like pattern within the sword itself that when the light hits it. And then the whip just looks like a really, really nice, well-made
like kinky?
No, like hurt someone.
Kinky, got it.
What's the difference?
Wow. And then you said that there was like miscellaneous stuff as well.
Yep. Yeah, there's a bunch of different like potion bottles that are left around and like gemstones and other just random items kind of spattered around.
How much of this do we think we could reasonably take with what we have, the people that we have in this?
I mean, Triss is
you
awfully
guys are
strong.
you guys have been traveling pretty light. You guys don't really have a lot on you in terms of Daggerheart, like in terms of carrying items and stuff. You think you'll definitely be able to carry all the gold between the 5 of you. It might be difficult to carry all of like the armor, unless you like swapped out ones that you wanted to keep and like left worse ones, because armor just takes up a lot of room to carry. And then for the weapons, it would be close. You'd probably have to use Kavun a little bit to carry some stuff, and maybe have Grace assist with a midnight spirit, like constantly carrying some of the extra weapons and stuff if you don't like assign them out. But as for the other stuff, all the other stuff is kind of smaller items that would be able to be packed up and spread out between all of you.
Nyx is going to suggest that, particularly to Grace, but to the kind of the group as well, that unless Grace feels confident in being able to kind of better discern what these weapons are or what these items are or are not, if any of them are magical, what kind of traits that they might have, then maybe we should like do that in a short order. Then maybe we should just kind of bring everything with us, and that could be something that we do the next time we rest, if we wanted to get going. Or because we like rested and then attack, like we planned this attack, right? Only for an hour though.
Yeah, well, what happened was you guys started your day trying to catch up to the little like encampment buildings on the hill, but then a storm blew in, so you guys hid in a canyon. That's where you discovered the demon. You guys waited for the storm to blow over, then attacked the demon.
We haven't done a rest. Honestly, I'd like to take a small rest and also get rid of this body. Before we move
which
on.
body, yours or the demons?
The demons.
Oh,
Yeah. Saying you'd like to get rid of this body kind of prickled some hairs on the back.
right,
of my neck.
right. Says the shapeshifter. I would like to get rid of this body. Is there anything that I know of that yonder demon might have built into its person that might be useful?
What are you trying to ask for, Jeremy?
I mean, like dragon hide is really strong and stuff, and this guy's got horns and things. Is there anything about them that I know makes them worth chopping off? And all right, come on, dice. I don't think I've upped my knowledge. Nope, I sure haven't. Well, that is a critical. 2 2s. I feel like maybe that was a waste of a crit.
Well, with 2 2s, you can take a hope and clear stress. You look at the demon and you look him over, and there's a couple things that you remember, and you know, or at least have heard that, like the bone from the horns is very easily enchanted, which means that if you took it, you could potentially make or sell it for a fair amount of make something from it or sell it and make a fair amount of money from it. The other thing you remember is that this is a greed demon, and he was consuming that gold. So you remembered reading somewhere, probably in a Castles and Centaurs
Right.
book,
because all of the greatest games pull from reality.
There was, a little passage about the insides of a avarice demon potentially being made of gold itself.
So while you're all dealing with the weapons and the armor and the little trinkets and the gold and blah, 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 I will go over. You might notice me kind of like eyeing the body, looking around. Sooner or later, I pull out my magic dagger and I just like start sawing into it, kind of peeking, seeing if anything comes climbing out.
You start like sawing into, doing like an autopsy on the demon.
I've got my mask on.
You get through like the flesh, and the flesh goes, but like it hits something hard, like when you like go further, and as you peel back the flesh, it looks like the bones that are on the inside, like the rib cage, are gold in color.
So I absolutely have visions of my chariot that I'm building being like adorned with this thing's skull and bones, and me just like riding into battle looking like some kind of psychotic Conan or something. I am absolutely harvesting this thing's bones. Although,
give me a finesse roll
Sure.
to see how well you can deflesh this demon.
When I do start, I feel like I am like, Grace, what's the date? And then Grace doesn't answer because she's like dead. But so then I'm like, Nix, what's today?
Today is the day that is currently happening.
Right. What's the
tomorrow
date?
is in the future. And
What's the? I need this for the autopsy report. This has to be official.
Oh, it's right there on the contract. Don't you see?
Oh, I'll look at the contract. What day is it?
It's Tuesday.
Nuts, what are you doing?
I am rolling a 22 finesse with fear.
Okay. You start like very efficiently defleshing the body, completely ignoring Astoy's question as you are just like peeling flesh and muscle and nerves just off of the bones,
Right.
and like throwing them in a pile. As you're doing this, you find like buried kind of where the kidney is, like near where a kidney would be, a stone. And at first you're about to just toss it and throw it away, and then it pulses like a smoky black pulse inside of it, and like shifts.
All right, 2 questions. One, how large is this?
Oh no, like a little bit bigger than a kidney.
Also, how big is his doink?
How big is his stomach?
No, his demon dong.
Man.
Oh, bigger than yours.
Well, I mean, Knots doesn't have
I would
one,
hope
so right. Because she like grabs this kidney stone, and then she looks down and she's like, "Oh man, he was in so much pain. This was gonna be horrible. We did him a favor by killing him. He no wonder he was so fucking grumpy."
I'm pacing.
The pulsing darkness has me a little concerned. So I'm going to set that aside for everyone to look at and be like, hey, this might be important. I'm going to set it down and go back to
Why are you
harvesting.
cutting into that body?
I'm
Aren't
just,
So
you
you're, like,
worried about its blood and corruption?
Covered in ichor, and you're
Right,
worried
yeah.
about some.
I like look down and I'm like, nope, I think it's okay because I'm just like covered in it by this point. But that thing seemed weird.
We should get rid of it then.
Well, but what if it's a good weird? Not all weirds are bad, Estoy.
It's coming from a demon.
Maybe it was its heart and it just like was too small. It needed to
And
grow
its
like
kidney?
3 sizes. You don't know where its heart is. I don't know where its heart is either, but I'm just saying.
It's over in the pile of flesh that you have made.
Look, my chariot that you are going to pull in horse form is going to be amazing, and you are going to look glorious as you pull me in it.
I think you've got me confused with Kavun.
Kavun's not going to pull my chariot. He's a cat. You can be
Neither
a
am I.
horse. All right, we must buy a crag horse with some of this gold.
But you continue to deflesh the body of the demon and just a growing pile. But as you like continue forward and like at the like after you've pulled out the stone and set it aside, and as you're like pulling out like its intestines to like throw over to the side, give me a strength reaction roll.
I will, like, every so often hold some out to Kavun, see if he's hungry. Not the best. Hang on, I gotta verify whether this is a 1 or a 7. That is a 1. So it gives me, yep, a 4 with hope.
You don't get hope because it's a reaction roll. And you realize that your hands and crawling up your arms is starting to go numb. Like first painful, then numb as you take 14 points of physical
Damage.
damage.
Okay.
As you think that maybe there's some sort of acidic or property to the guts that you are currently handling barehanded.
I feel a little weird.
No surprise there.
I'm gonna take a break and just kind of walk over, and like my arms are all dangling and I'm looking a little woozy. I might get sick. How are you all doing?
Probably better than you, since we aren't swimming in demon guts. Let me I'll look over him. I'll look over her. Is there anything I can do for her?
You get the idea that if she's not healed relatively shortly, then she will be there will be some lasting consequence.
Perfect. I'll wait until the last second.
What's gonna happen is Knots is gonna turn into a demon, and that's just what you need.
I will heal Knots with
Whoa. What are you doing there, buddy?
I'll just use where it's Sparing Touch. I used my last one. So you can clear 2 hit points or 2 stress, or
Thanks.
Yeah.
Out of character, thanks. In character. Whoa. Consent. Oh, I can feel my hands again. Cool. Thanks.
I'll grab the collar before she starts back into it. Calm down. I've got a different idea that might, if you're wanting those bones.
But yeah, I'm only like halfway through.
Yeah,
We don't want to
hold up a
half-ass
second.
this chariot. I'm just saying.
I don't know why you're so focused on this, but here, let me take care of it a little bit.
You don't know why Knots is hyper-focused on something.
No, I
No.
don't understand why he wants this stuff so bad, but that's a different story. Let me see some of your mushrooms.
So my mushrooms?
Yeah.
Do I have mushrooms?
You've been eating them in front of him. I don't know what you're talking about.
You always want to butter
It's-
them up.
I'm gonna say it's been a few episodes. I'm not totally sure. I will.
We have established that every single one of Knots's rations is mushrooms.
I'll glance over towards Triss's armor, where like there's little bits of court growing, and then I'll be like, I'll
Not
reach
the
in.
sentient ones.
Yeah, I'll reach in my. You know, all life is actually sentient. You can talk to it. I'm just saying. But then I'll hand you like
Yeah.
some mashed up, like just crumbles of mushroom at this point.
All
I've
right.
kind of been through the ringer.
I'll see if I can get some spores out of these mushrooms on the body.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it takes a little bit because they're all a little bit crushed, but you do manage to get some spores out onto the body.
Okay. I will use Druidcraft and have these spores grow into full-grown mushrooms and, like, you know, kind of devouring the body as they go.
Sure,
Oh.
give me an instinct roll to see how
Okay.
effective this is.
I'm like kneeling down, like inches away, just watching this happen. Wow.
14 with hope.
Yeah, you manage to pop out some spores and spread them out over the body, and then start forcing the mushrooms to grow. And as they grow, they start like consuming the flesh from inside. And you get like probably 80% of what's left consumed by the mushrooms.
Before you
The
move
flesh
it,
is mostly around the head.
okay. Before I let go of Knots, these mushrooms may be contaminated from the demon. And so I will snap my fingers and set them on fire.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can burn them. Easy enough.
a little bit of glee just crosses over Knots' face.
I don't want Knots eating these either, so I'm going to cook them pretty well.
Right? Oh, Grace, its brain is still in there. Is there anything we can do with its brain? Can you make like a potion? Oh, right, you're linked dead.
Because you did roll a crit, as you think about what the brain might provide you, you don't think it could be used specifically in any kind of like potion that you know of. But given what happened with just the blood, reminds you that you may potentially be able to ground its brain into acid paste.
Oh.
And acid paste is a paste that can eat away walls or other surfaces in bright flashes.
So I walk over to Grace and I look up at her and she's just staring off into nothing. And I smile and I reach into her bag and I pull out a crochet hook. And then I just walk away and I go over and I stick it up the demon's nose and jiggle it around in there. And then I'm just going to like pour its brain. You'll see me for a while like squeezing its head and like shaking it and trying to pour this brain into a
Jar of fireflies.
jar. Yeah. Oh yeah. I let the fireflies
Yeah,
out.
you get like 2 like containers of the like small containers of this acid paste.
Perfect. Oh, that'll be my. Here, I'll help everybody out for my my Wanderer's pack, I will pull out a Tupperware set. Obviously, it's not Tupperware, but it is a set of like, we'll say they're like leather lined, so they're waterproof, like bowls with lids. And so we can put random stuff in it, gold, etc., whatever you all need to fit in here.
Won't you pull out goblin nesting dolls one day?
So anyone got an idea what that thing is? I'll sit there and stare at its kidney stone.
Not really.
As you ask that, give me a knowledge check with advantage, not since you got a crit on your knowledge of demon parts.
Oh, for a moment I thought I got another crit because there's 2 1s, but one of the ones is on the 6. So instead, that is 9. With hope.
With what?
With hope.
Okay, then you can take the hope. You look at it, and you're not sure exactly what it is, and you don't remember reading anything about it. However, it does remind you, you're not sure why, but it does remind you of like the stone that you guys got from the earth elemental that Nyx put in his weapon.
Is that the one that made it great or something?
It's the one. Well, the one that he had is one that attached to the weapon and gave it the powerful feature.
Powerful, that's what it was.
And so it reminds you of that. It's not exactly that, but it reminds you of that.
I'm gonna just put it in a Tupperware for now.
Sure.
Maybe Grace can look at it later for you.
Anyone know how much Demon Dong's going for? Should we... Oh, wow, your mushrooms totally ate that. Never mind.
They did. It was the first thing to go.
I can figure out the other stuff. I can take a look at it maybe. Figure out what these weapons are.
Yeah. You can give me a knowledge roll for the weapons.
Maybe someone else should take a look too.
Not me.
Oh, I'm happy
13
to.
with fear.
A 13 with fear. Yeah, you look over the weapons, and a few of them you are able to recognize what they might be. You recognize first the thick dagger as a blessed anlace. It's an instinct melee weapon that does a d10 plus 6 magic damage one-handed, but it also has the healing feature. During downtime, you automatically heal 1 hit point.
Neat.
And sorry, it was a blessed what?
Anlace?
ANLACE.
Yep. And then you also recognize the whip as just improved whip. It's probably the least fancy of the weapons that are around. It's just kind of a standard but slightly nicer made whip. And the other weapon, because you recognize 3 of the 5, the other weapon that you recognize is the sword that had the magic fire reflecting in the light, and you recognize it as a sword of light and flame. It is a strength-based melee weapon, does d10 plus 11 magic damage, 2-handed, and it has the penetrating function, which means it cuts through solid material.
Oh, wow.
Neat.
Was the Anlance the dagger that was very broad?
Yep.
Okay, just double checking.
You're not sure what the other two are, the axe and
given that axe is as large as I am
instinct blade, illusion blade.
given that the axe is as large as I am, actually probably larger. I'm super curious about it, and because we were trying to figure it out, I'm going to put my brain cell to work on trying to help Astoy figure out what it is.
Sure, give me a knowledge roll.
That is an 11 with hope.
With hope, yeah, you look it over and it's way bigger than you are, but as you get up close and start looking at it, you recognize it. It's in Castles and Centaurs. It's like on the front page. It's like one of the legendary weapons that is always talked about in Castles and Centaurs. And it's called the Acts of Fortunis. It's a strength-based melee weapon, D8 plus 8 magic, two-handed, has the lucky feature. You can spend a stress on a failure to re-roll your attack and take the new roll.
I'm super excited about all this, and I go over and I'm like pulling on like Triss's arm, and I'm pointing next to it and everything, and I'm explaining all of this stuff. But I feel like everyone should take this with 100% grain of salt that I am explaining it from a TTRPG. So while Knox 100% believes that's what it is.
You haven't been wrong when it comes to these things yet. So
you're not wrong.
Being someone who is himself an unlikely prophet, I believe you.
So yes, that means the one unidentified weapon is the illusion, ghostly looking blade.
Yep.
I will take a look at it and see if I can get any whispers from the wind or any inspiration or and I will use a prayer die.
And you have that inspiration from chat earlier.
Oh, I will do the inspiration from chat. Yes. That is a 14 with hope.
Great. Take that hope. You look it over and you reach down and you can grasp it. You are physically able to hold it. And as you look it over, it reminds you a little bit of the feeling of that weird stone in the underground area that you were in. Just that it doesn't feel like it's of this place, of this world. But it's known as a ghost blade. It is a presence melee weapon, does a d10 plus 7 damage. It's one-handed, and it's otherworldly, which means that you can choose whether it does physical or magical damage.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to say this space sword is pretty cool. Man.
Man.
Okay, I think that is everything. Can you just, going back to the beginning, because I'm taking these notes down for everyone, what was the quality on the shield? It was an agility.
It was agility, and 1 second, it's not all written in one.
What's the shield name again? It's in the
brave shield.
In the equipment. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a brave shield. It's in equipment. It's one of the items that you can have. And it's agility, melee, does d4 plus 6. It's a secondary weapon. It's one-handed, and it has the sheltering property, which is you can use using an armor slot reduces damage for you and all allies in melee with you.
Awesome. Well, now that we know what all of these things are,
Other than the small items that you have.
other than the small items, how many of them are Warhammer figurines? Just to get that out of the way.
The small items? No, the only like TTRPG related thing was the set of dice that Knots took.
Okay. I think that Nyx also wants to take a rest to kind of recuperate. That was a lot of mental energy, and also the gold and the fight. He didn't get hurt. Nyx didn't really get hurt because he's a badass, but other people did. So yeah, he'll suggest that maybe we spend some time kind of recuperating and before we head out. But like based upon the time of day, because when the storm passed and how long the fight took, like, do I think that we'll need to? Is taking a short rest make no sense because a short rest then puts us in the middle of the night and we should just take a long rest? Or
if you took a short rest, as long as nothing else unexpected happens, you should be able to make it to the buildings by the end of the day, even with taking a short rest here.
Okay. Then maybe Nyx will suggest that and see what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that would be good.
I think that this skull is going to make an awesome set of handlebars for the chariot, because like the way that its horns come up like this, I can like hang on to them, and maybe I can like turn the chariot with them.
Cool.
Oh, what was the question?
I think it's a bad idea, but that's up to you.
Why don't we rest and then try and make it to the buildings?
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea, because even though you heal me, my hands still feel kind of tingly.
And in the meantime, maybe like while we're resting, Nyx will do some distribution of some of these items to anyone that wants. Like if there's something that like jumps out where it's like, ooh, I want that besides the dice that never was part of the loot, then we can do that now. The rest of it we'll just bring along.
We can worry about it later, but I would like to hold the dagger if we're taking a rest.
Which one?
Okay.
The handless.
Yeah.
The one that heals a hit point.
Make it so.
Yeah, you guys can settle down for a rest. If you gather up the rest of the smaller items, you immediately recognize that there are... Somebody roll me a D8.
Okay. 4.
Okay, there is 1 major stamina potion and 3 regular stamina potions. And then somebody roll me a D10.
Go for it, Jeremy.
D10, hang on. That's in there somewhere. I got a 1.
With a 1, you find 1 major health potion. And those are the ones you immediately recognize. There are other potion bottles that you might just have to take a little bit of time with to look at to recognize. And there are some other varieties of items which we can have you guys roll for during your short rest. But you can decide what you guys would like to do on your short rest. I can tell you that Triss is going to tend to wounds and repair her armor.
I will I'm not going to repair my armor because I'm going to maybe look for one of these new armors, and I'm going to clear. When you do you clear one stress, or how much stress do you clear?
1d4.
Short rest.
You roll a d4.
Okay, I will clear some stress.
Does anyone else need stuff cleared, whether it's stress, armor, or hit points?
Triss wouldn't say no to some armor help.
Yeah. If anybody has the ability to give me a hope, I can fully restore Triss's armor.
I could prepare with you, although you could prepare by yourself.
Right, but I can't use this ability at the same time I'm preparing. I have to have it to spend at the start.
Is there any way to give someone else a hope?
Just Triss's ability, I know that one.
Which she already used.
Okay.
Gotcha.
She used it during the fight. I'm pretty sure, but let me just double check some character sheets to see if there's anything I can do with their stuff.
Yeah. At the start, I will swap in recovery in place of retaliation.
Oh yeah, she can spend a paradise to give you 2 hope.
Okay. Then I will spend a hope at the start to give her a long rest action to repair her armor.
Ooh, great. Thank you.
And then I'll use my long rest recovery for stress. And then I will prepare as well.
Are you all stress free, or do you need help?
The long rest recovery will get rid of my stress.
All right. Then I'm going to sleep because there's nothing to do.
You could play with those dice.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, you can use a downtime action to play with the dice.
Yeah, you could prepare so we get 2 hope instead of 1.
If anyone needs it, I'm full up. So if anyone needs it, then I'm happy to do that.
I would play with the dice so that you can use the ability, right?
Yeah.
Well, so it's
You have to use a downtime action.
right, but you get 2 of these, don't you?
You get 2 actions.
Right. So I'll prepare and play with my dice.
Great. As you guys, we're gonna just do some rolling to see what other items you guys get. So we're gonna go around, and first I need all 3 of you to roll 2d12 and add it together.
Let's give
6.
some other dice a workout here.
17.
17. Should I reroll? Because isn't that what you just got?
Nope, it's fine. We had a 6.
Yep.
Find another pair of manacles with a key.
Yeah.
What color are the fuzz on this one?
These ones are not fuzzy. These
Oh.
ones are just a straight like steel. And then you find 2 arcane prisms, which are the position, the prism in the. So now we have 4 total in the group.
Who's not carrying one?
I don't think Triss has one. I think Grace has one, and I think
I have
Astoria
one.
has one.
Yep.
And so then that's 2 others to put with the other 3. Okay, and then I need each of you to roll 4d12 and add it together.
34.
What else? Everybody. Man, that's hard.
I feel like
Holy
Ryan's
shit.
rolling.
24, 34.
2 34s. Okay, what did you get, Jeremy?
Does a critical matter?
No, it's just the total.
That's just
of
a
all
14.
four. A 14 for 46.
Oh, sorry. Hang on.
Wait, 40-12, I thought you said.
So 40-12. Sorry. Yes.
Okay.
40-12.
All right,
You
so I
were
got
correct.
7 and 7 and 5 and 6, so 11, 25.
I'm sorry, I can math. I got 32, not 34.
Okay. So 25. You find another one of the creepy stones that Knots had pulled out of the demon.
Oh my god, did we get the first one wet? Is it multiplying?
And then you find a very beautiful ring that has a small like diamond encrusted in it, and you recognize it as a ring of resistance. Once per long rest, you can activate the ring to only take half damage from an incoming attack.
Nice.
And then the other thing that you find is a small box that's very magical, and you realize that it's wooden, but it's been like lacquered, so it's very shiny, and it has like gold like kind of engraved into the box, and it's a box of many goods. It's a small box that can only be opened once per long rest, and when you open it, you roll a d12. So I'm going to have somebody do it because you guys are going to have to have opened it to figure out what it is. So somebody want to roll me a d12?
Knots.
Knots would have opened it.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
this is 100% a Knots thing. 4.
With a 4, you opened it and it was empty, and you get really sad because it felt super magical. But
Nice.
anyway,
Perfect.
once per long rest, you can open it and roll a d12. If you roll a 1 to 6, it's empty. If you roll a 7 to 10, it contains 1 random consumable. And if you roll an 11 to 12, it contains 2 random consumables.
Nice.
So it was empty
Cool.
this time.
Even though it was empty, and I'm sad about that, if no one has any objections, I will absolutely keep that, because I am like talking about how, oh, well, look, all of my notebooks will fit into this, and my dice, and I can put my little figurine in here, and I'm like stuffing all my castles and centaur stuff into it.
Yeah, but it only opens once a day.
But it was already open. It's empty.
Yeah, but when you close it, you can't open it again until tomorrow.
I don't know that yet.
And then I need two people to roll 5d12 and add it together.
Oh, jeez. Jason,
Okay.
you roll it because you have your roller up.
Would you like me to roll the other one?
31.
Yeah, sure.
Because that's how many sets of Carly's dice I just happen to have. Oh, wow. That was a really good roll, too. 2 11s, a 10, a 12, and a 3. So that's 15, 25, 36, 47.
47. You find a very nice pair of boots, known as Lake Strider boots, which allow you to walk along the surface of water as if it were ground. And then the 31, you find a small bag of like this very like sparkly sand inside it. And this bag can be convinced to be much heavier or lighter than it should be with a presence 10 roll. So you can have it weigh however much you want, as long as you do a presence 10 roll. You can also blow the sand in the face of an adversary with a finesse roll to make them temporarily vulnerable.
Does that use
With
it up?
sand.
What? It does not use it up.
Interesting. Sorry, what did you say, Jason?
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand.
Sand. Okay, so that was all the items that you found. Now we're going to do consumables. So I need everybody to roll 2d12 and add it together.
$17.
11.
Okay.
And 13.
Okay, with 11, you find 3 vials of moon drip. Moon drip allows you to see in total darkness until your next short rest.
See, the key there is never to rest. It's really breaking the system.
Just keep going.
You also find 4 potions of stability, which is on a use. You can take an additional downtime move. And you also find 5 like bits of jumping root, which when you take it, it allows you to leap anywhere within far range without needing to roll. And the effect ends once you land where you wanted to go. Superman jump. Okay, now I need each of you to roll 4d12 and add it together.
Oh, wow. 20.
20.
Yay.
Great. People that rolled 19 and 20, I need you to re-roll for me, because that was health potions and stamina potions. Or
34.
Um, 30.
Okay. You find 2 major attune potions. They are potions that you take and you get a +1 to your instinct until your next short rest. And then you find another couple familiar looking stones known as channel stones. You find 2 more channel stones, which are stones that allow you to take a spell or grimoire from your vault and use it once and then return it to your vault without having to pay the stress costs. Those were also stones that you found when you battled the Earth Elemental. And Jeremy, and you find 6 uses of snap powder. So they are powder that allow you to mark a stress to clear a hit point when you take it, like snuff powder. And then I once again need 2 people to roll 5d12.
All right. 42.
32.
Alrighty. You find 1 Hamet's secret potion, and after consuming it, on the next successful attack you make that deals magic damage, treat the damage as you would on a critical success. So it gives you crit damage on your next magic damage roll.
Nice.
What's the name of it again?
Hamet's secret potion.
HOMET.
Yep.
And then you also find 1 container of Drip Fang poison, which is a poison that does 8d10 direct damage to a creature who consumes it. And direct damage is unblockable damage. It just happens. Like magic missile.
Magic missile. What's that named again?
Drip Fang
Fang.
poison. And then everything else you find is either like non-magical or just random shiny stuff and gold. Yes, the amount of gold that you guys find is... let's see. Yeah, you get the amount of gold when you gather it all together is a massive amount of gold, and it is equal to 2 chests full of gold that you can spread out between the 5 of you, however you wish.
Ellie, do you remember
Okay.
how many chests a person can carry?
1.
One. Cool.
1 is how much a person can carry by themselves at a time. You can have more gold than that, but you have to store it somewhere.
Right. I mean, I have...
Like in crypto.
What about
Yeah,
it?
sure.
What about the dog from Superman?
So, yes, this was quite the hoard of items that you guys managed to
Oh, yeah.
recover, and a massive amount of gold.
Liberate. How much money does Nix think it would take to become a governor?
Governor of where?
Not here. Somewhere where
Of
there's
this
actually
cave.
people.
About this much for this cave.
It really depends on how high you're reaching, bud.
How much will 2 chests fulls worth of gold and all these items get me?
How much money in total, or how close to a governorship?
Yes.
How many mercenaries will it get him to
Right.
take over a town?
Yeah.
Like the next
Look,
town?
it really depends on the size of the town that you're trying to take over. Because if you're trying to take over, like, Shale Ridge, it's not going to take much. And
What about-
in fact, it happens all the time.
There's this town that's nearby, this little village, just using that as an example. Could Nix become the governor of that town?
Oh, well, that wasn't even like a full town, the place that you're headed to. It's like a series of like 7 buildings.
So yes, you
So
could be...
I don't need to use any money for that. I just need to go in swinging. Okay. Jokes aside.
But we'll say, I mean, a chest of gold, like by itself, is a pretty fair amount of gold. As that's like the most a person can carry on them at any one time. So yes, people that are rich have more because they have it stored elsewhere and things like that. But a chest of gold is, most things are like 1 or 2 gold, and then you're talking about like weapons and stuff can be like handfuls of gold, and you have
100
more than that.
handfuls.
I sit down
We have
over
200
by
handfuls, effectively.
Grace and Triss, and just like, this is more than we've ever gotten paid for a job. Why have we ever worked?
Are you saying you want to go hunt down more demons?
Don't say that. Don't give her that idea.
Yes.
Hmm.
I
I'm
don't
pretty
even
sure
think that's a
all the
bad
demons
idea.
will have a horde like this. It was a demon of greed.
We can become greed demon specialists.
Can we
You know
charge
where
extra
another
for that?
greed demon is? Do you even know where another demon is?
Give me a few hours and maybe I'll find out.
Why don't we try and recover your original objective and my personal objective first?
Because that sounds like a lot less fun.
He's kind of right.
Fine.
So yes, the group of you finish your short rest. You've managed to recover a fairly massive amount of gold. You get the understanding that it probably would have been close to 4 chests of gold. The demon consumed a lot of gold. But you also found a lot of like legendary and very powerful magic items, and you guys are ready to do whatever you want to do next.
Before we leave, or as we're resting, can I see if I might understand why the demon was trapped here?
Sure. Give me an instinct roll.
16 with fear.
A 16 with fear. You look over the area that you're in and realize that there, underneath where all the gold was and the items were, there is a runic map sketched onto the ground. You're not sure what the runes say, and given the condition that the demon was in, you get the idea that maybe somebody laid a trap with a hoard of items for the demon so it wouldn't be able to leave once it was drawn in.
I see. I'll say that. And I will take a rubbing of the runes, because if we're going to be averse demon specialists, this might be very useful.
Fair.
Sure. Give me a finesse roll to see how accurately you can get the demon runic.
17 with hope.
Okay, 17 with hope. You can take that hope, and you managed to get a pretty accurate sketching of the runic map that was laid out for the trap.
Okay.
Can I see that as well?
Yeah, sure.
Stoy'd like to look over and see if he can understand it or figure it out as well.
Sure, give me a knowledge roll.
Okay. Darn, I was hoping I could do instinct. Actually, that's a crit. Double 8.
Nice.
Double 8, so you can clear stress and take a hope. You look it over and you recognize the base runes in this language. It's not the runes that you guys saw in the tunnel down below.
Okay.
It is still an older runic language, but it is one that you recognize as being Fey-esque in origin. And so the basis of what a lot of fungal runes are and have been built off of it, same for fauns or any of the other Fey-esque races. So they all seem to have been built from this. So you recognize the underlying structure of it, and with a little bit of time, you'd probably be able to piece together its exact purpose. First looking at it, you do get the idea, the semblance that this, yes, it was built to trap them in, but it would take a little bit more time to get the actual specifics of how all the runes interact with each other and the direct function of it beyond it trapping the demon inside.
That was a good idea, Nix. Good thing you checked on that. I don't think I can read it. Well, I mean, I can't read much of anything, so...
You aren't literate?
Nah. It's no use. I mean, it doesn't do me any good.
Except for maybe in situations like this.
I mean, when you herd goats and running off wolves and stuff from your sheep, you don't really need much for reading.
That's fair.
I feel like it's about this time that you hear a really high-pitched shriek, and then you hear... Baba Yugu's ingrown toenail, what the hell is this? And I'm trying to open the box again and it won't open. And I'm just smacking it on the ground. Look very, very upset.
It's not going to open until you sleep.
Does Grace tell me that?
Yeah, Triss tells you that.
Oh, Triss tells me that? Well, what? We need to take a rest right now because I need my notes.
No, we're leaving. You can look at it after you sleep tonight, after we get to that town.
This is the stupidest empty box ever.
I mean, it seems like a good thing to be able to store stuff in then.
Right, but if I can only open it once per sleep, that's dumb.
But then others can't open it either.
I'm going to glance at Triss to see if that's the case. Because Triss obviously seems to know.
I mean, we could test them out pretty easily.
Once per day. Once per day.
I'm going to hand it to
Grace
Triss.
said that.
Can you open
she
this?
said it. No, I can't.
Try.
See?
You didn't try very hard.
See?
All right, I saw some bulge. All right, yeah, I believe you.
Right.
Well, we gotta hurry so I can get this open.
Well, then lead the way.
Okay. Put the box away. Would you like me to roll a survival thingy?
Yeah, lead the group.
I feel like you're all in for it now. Oh, that's not bad. That is a 20 with hope.
20 with hope. Yeah, you set off, and there is a fresh, snow on the ground, so you are moving kind of through a small snowdrift. The storm wasn't very long, so it's not super deep, but you are moving and, leaving footprints in the snow, but not expertly starts guiding you, along this flat, ridge formation that starts switchbacking up the mountainside.
Not seems to be in a hurry.
The sooner we get there, the sooner we go to sleep.
With that feels like a really good place to leave off as we go to take a break.
Hooray! All right, well, we'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Thanks for hanging out.
Yep. You know what I'm going to do.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yes, welcome back. Our troop has uncovered a massive hoard of items and have put some of them on themselves and are headed up a mountain in search of a village that may potentially host the people that they have been chasing this entire time.
And who's about to get governated.
Maybe.
Get to the village.
Get to the village. But yes, currently Knots is leading them up through the snow towards the small smoke trail that comes from one of the buildings up in the distance. Knots is leading them very well at the moment. However, it is really cold out here. You guys have come out of the protection of the canyon cliffs. And while the storm has passed, there's still great winds rushing around here, and you are trudging through about just under a foot of snow, so it's kind of bleeding into your legs and your boots a little bit as you continue to move forward. So I need all of you to give me a strength reaction roll, please.
Are you going to need that from Kavoon as well?
Yes. Yes, I will need it from Kavoon as well.
My survival help with this?
Are you talking about your...
Steady?
Yes.
I got 18.
Shockingly for the goblin, a 20. And a 25 for Kavoon.
Nice. 15.
Okay, I'm rolling for Triss and Grace. Triss got a 22, and Grace got a critical.
Nice. That's because Maggie's not here.
Because Maggie's not here.
Of course.
I don't think that Grace has rolled a critical since last time you rolled it for her.
I don't think so either, but I think we've only had one session, so that she's been here. So,
Carly's rolled a lot of criticals for her.
Right.
Anyways, anybody that rolled less than an 18 will take a stress as the cold just starts to seep in as we move up the mountain. But you guys continue tracking upwards and upwards and upwards. When you lose sight of the trail of smoke, you're kind of directly under where you think the village is, so and you come to this fork, and essentially there's a path that continues to switch back up further, and then there is a part that leads to a rock wall that leads up. It does look climbable, but it is a good 60 feet that you would have to climb up. So you've come to this crossroads and you can't see the trail of smoke anymore, and these are the two options that lay out before you.
I mean, we should just follow the path up to the village. No reason to try to climb that, right?
Does it look cuttable?
I mean, your weapon can cut through anything.
I agree that the only thing that climbing might give us is a unexpected rival vector, but it also seems fairly dangerous.
That's a pretty big climb in this weather, especially.
Grace says, I am not good at climbing.
Okay, so you go first. No, we will take the trail.
Okay, so you guys continue up and following the trail.
I could fly us over if we really needed.
Do you want to do that?
I mean, my back's still a little sore the last time I flew Triss, but I could get the rest of us pretty easy.
I mean, Triss looks at the wall and says, I could probably climb that. It's only 6 of her.
Yeah.
I'm fine with just going up the path as long as...
Yeah, let's go up the Cahoon. Yeah, let's go up the path.
Okay, so you guys go up the path. I need, since Knots is leading the way, I need an agility roll from Knots. Everybody else is going to make one because it's a group roll, but Knots is leading to see how quickly you guys make it up this mountain. So everybody else, give me a duality roll. You don't have to tell me hope or fear. Just tell me what the total is, and I will tell Knots what they get to add or subtract to their roll.
Gotcha.
Is this survival as well, or?
Yeah, you can add your survival to this.
Okay, 25.
25? Okay.
Yes.
17.
Okay.
42.
120 billion.
17 and 35.
You guys are so good. You guys are so helpful. You can add a +2 to your roll.
Okay, so that is 22 plus 2, you said? So 24. Mm-hmm. Do you need to know fear?
Yes, yours is hope or fear.
Yes, this is with fear.
Okay. Yeah, you start leading the group pretty quickly up these switchbacks, and eventually you see the edges of the building start to come into view. It is still really cold out here, and this next section does take you a while. It's not quick, so I'm going to need another strength reaction roll from everyone.
Man, can't wait to get in that village. It's cold out.
Right?
I rolled 2 12s.
Nice.
Nice.
What a waste. So that's 27.
20
Okay.
for Knots and 19 for Kavoon.
19.
Okay. So it looks like only Grace takes a stress from the cold starting to seep in as you guys continue up the side of the mountain. Like I said, eventually you catch sight of like the tops of the buildings closest to you as you guys make another switch back around. You have a couple more switchbacks till you think you'd be level, but you can see the tops of the buildings beginning to appear within your view.
How bad is Grace? I mean, is she shivering pretty badly, or?
I mean, Grace is a little stressed, just in general. She didn't clear any stress in our last one. She did her hit points and armor slots.
Okay.
But
If I got her out of the snow, will that help her?
not right now. Not right now. It's just the cold. It not specifically the snow, just the coldness around has started to.
You can become a dire kangaroo and you just put her in your pouch.
Well, I was more thinking like a bear that she could ride.
I think she's okay for now.
Okay.
She would say, "Hold your stuff." But yeah, so the set of buildings are within view now, and as you guys make this switch back, you can see like the smoke coming out of a couple of the buildings, but that's all you can see from this distance without trying to take a closer look.
So I felt like I should point out that through all of this, like you've seen like colorful rocks and like strange trees and like animals that usually Knots would be all like, "Oh, what is that?" and like run over there. I've been singularly focused on getting through this. And so when I see the buildings, I'm just moving. I'm just trucking towards them.
Okay.
Again, I think Knots is in a hurry.
Yeah, you continue up and eventually you get level with the town on this like ridge that it's settled on, and you can see across and you see the like 7 buildings positioned like kind of in a circle, and you see like what looks like a tiny like town square gathering area just in the middle of the 7 buildings, and then you can see the like shadowy caved portion of the cave that is like right next to where the buildings are settled, and as you start moving continuing towards the town, you don't see anyone.
Why don't you wait here a second?
What? Why?
I don't know. It feels like we should scout ahead a little bit just in case. It's awfully quiet. Okay.
This town would be very easy to become a governor of.
Yeah, maybe. Like, it's still daylight out, right?
Yeah, it's getting into the later afternoon. You probably have like an hour to 2 hours maybe until the sun is sunsets.
I would expect people to be out working right now.
Yeah.
This.
Did you say that there was smoke in the chimneys?
Yeah, there's smoke in a couple of the buildings, but you don't see any people.
Okay.
When you like make this turn and you're level and you can see across, you don't see anybody like moving around.
Should we check out those buildings? Because then, like, maybe they're all cold. Because it it is really cold out. I don't know if you've noticed this.
Oh, I've noticed.
It's real cold.
Oh, geez, Grace, your face is blue. That's not normal.
I mean, I guess we can go into town. It's weird that there's nobody out.
Do you want to do like a flyover?
Remember the last time we just walked into a place?
You're talking the giant place that I don't recall?
Oh, no, sorry. You weren't with us when we walked into the Wailing City?
Or do you mean like into a place in general? Because like we just walked into that crevice where there was like all of this bling just laying around. Granted, there was a demon guarding.
Some people into a place, and then a massive trap was set, and we lost Jim.
Yeah, so you should do a flyover.
All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna turn into like a small little snowbird
Sure.
and fly over first and kind of look around. Maybe land on a windowsill where I see
Yeah,
smoke
sure.
coming out and look in.
Give me an instinct roll.
Okay. Let's see. I think in bird form I have advantage on this. Locate, deceive, distract. I'm assuming locate would help with this.
Yeah, you can take advantage.
Unfortunately, it's with fear. But that would be 18.
Yeah, you take off into the air and start circling above, and you can tell that there doesn't seem to be anybody outside. There's nobody like outside the buildings. As you circle around and look around, as you like kind of come closer, you can tell that there is a pretty well-worn track from like the center of town to the mouth of that cave that is like just behind the town.
Okay.
But yeah, nobody seems to be out and about at this moment. As you swoop down to like take a look in one of the there's two of the 7 buildings have like smoke in the chimneys. One of them is like a larger building, and the other one is a smaller building. Which one do you go to take a look at first?
The smaller building.
You head down into the smaller building, and you look in, and you come into the window, and you look in, and it seems to just be like a regular kind of house. It's got it's like a single room house. It has a table, it has a bed, it has a massive fireplace. The fireplace does have something like it has a small like embered fire going, but there is nobody in the house at the moment when you look in.
Okay. I'm gonna fly over, not in front of the entrance of the cave, to the side of it.
Sure.
And then kind of trying to waddle quietly and just get a little sneak peek in as a small little bird.
Sure. You like waddle over and take a quick sneak peek in. Give me another instinct roll.
Okay. Man. 16 again with fear.
You take a peek in, and it is really dark inside, just given the way that it alcoves in, like, and the ambient light doesn't really stretch in very far. So you can see, like, about 10 feet in, and then it goes almost completely dark.
Okay.
But you do catch, like, the outlines of what looks to be, like, crates.
Okay.
Like moving crates. Things might be stored in. Kind of stacked off towards like the left-hand side of the cave, but you don't see anybody moving in there at the moment.
Okay. And no noise that I hear?
No. Mainly the noise that you hear right now is the wind and the slight sound of like fire from the buildings that are.
All right.
At the smoke.
All right. Well, I'll give one look into the large house and then fly back.
Yeah, you peek into the large house and you see a gathering of people. There's a fair amount of people in here. There's probably about 15 or so people in here
Okay.
at the moment. There are 3 children. The rest seem to be of varying ages, adults. But the big thing that you notice is that 2 of the people in here seem to be like threateningly holding the rest of the people quiet. This seems to be like a big like meeting hall or a place where they like all take meals, or it seems to be like the central house of this small village. And there's 2 people that are like threateningly holding the rest of the group within this space, and the rest of the group are all kind of huddled together and quietly whispering to each other,
Okay.
fearfully looking at the other 2 people.
Okay. I will quietly walk off the edge, get out of the windows, and then take off flight back to the group. And we'll land next to Knots and turn back to normal. I will describe the 2 people because I've never seen the other to them. It looks like there's 2 guys in there, or 2 people keeping the rest of the village hostage. Maybe they saw us in there. They seem to be keeping them at least quiet for now. They're not in their houses except for that one.
If this village had a strong governor, this would not have happened.
Yeah.
When he describes the people, the 2 people he describes do sound familiar to the rest of you as ones that escaped. Neither one sounds like the description of the leader, but it sounds like a description of the magic user and the other just fighter that had.
Gotcha. So just to clarify, there were 3 that we were trailing, right?
There were 3.
Perfect.
2 that he described. Neither one seemed to be the leader of the group.
Because I was tracking them with my gifted tracker thingy, can
The official term.
right? Can I look around to see if there's any sign of where butthole number 3 made their way off to?
Well,
Also
you're not
official.
super close to the village right now, as you guys have like kind of posted outside
Totally.
across the way. But you can give me an instinct roll to see if you can see anything from where you are, or agility in your case.
There was a cave there. I didn't explore
Double
it.
5s.
Nice.
What did you get? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Double
what you said.
5s.
Great. Take a hope and clear a stress. You take a look around and you realize there's a couple possibilities of what could have happened. You guys didn't really get a whole large sense of the leader's fighting capabilities. He didn't engage you guys a lot. So it's entirely possible that he knows magic and is hiding himself somehow with magic. The other possibility is that maybe he continued onward. There is a path that leads into the caves, as was mentioned by Estoy. You're not sure if the cave goes any deeper or where it goes. Maybe he left. So from this distance, that is what you can determine. Is you don't see any sign of him physically anywhere. But that doesn't mean that he couldn't be magically hiding himself somewhere or continued onward.
So I'll explain all of this to everyone, but Grace has her sensing magic ability. So hopefully if we are going to be near him and he's invisible or something like that, she would sense him. But Soy, did you see anything weird about this cave? Like, why, if he went into the cave, maybe this is like where they were going, and he's like going to use that heartstone thing or hearthstone or
Heartstone.
yes, that.
I mean, all I saw some boxes in the cave. I don't even know how far it goes from there.
What
It
if
was
it's an
pretty-
illusion?
Maybe I don't know. I can only tell you what I saw, and I didn't want to go too deep, just in case.
I'm worried about the people, but I also don't want him like, doing whatever he's gonna do with the hearthstone.
Heart, like heart. Heartstone.
How do you remember these things?
I don't know, maybe because it's like very culturally important and was stolen.
To who? Culturally important to who? I've never heard of this thing before.
Me.
I think Knott's lost some memory in that giant cave as well.
I think we should split the party.
I mean, those people. I don't want them to get hurt because of us.
Oh, okay. I totally thought you were going to say they were acceptable losses, which I was going to disagree with. Right, I was going to disagree with, but right.
Yeah.
Should we
If we
save
can
them
get
first?
I would say so.
They might have more information as well.
Yeah. I could probably give us a distraction for you guys if you can get close to the house and get ready to come in after I distract them.
What would your distraction be? Just so we know not to be distracted by it.
A giant version of Kavoon biting into one of their throats.
That's pretty distracting. Like even like a normal sized Kaboon biting into one of them is distracting.
Which one was the magic user?
He's the one that has kind of like the robes, and he has like the stupid pointy hat, and the staff.
Yep, he's the one that uses magic.
Yeah,
When he says that, there's no one wearing a pointy hat, but there was one that was wearing like dark purple, like robes and holding a staff.
all right.
Give him a break. He doesn't read, so he doesn't know about
I mean, we
character
are
archetypes.
the only
Well,
thing I've
I am
seen
gonna
are druids
solve
in my
that.
area.
I'm going to solve that reading thing. We have work to do, you and I.
On reading, Knots is gonna teach someone to read.
Remember, it's
Remember,
one
I
of
know.
my it's one of my
I know.
it's one of my projects.
Yeah. I remember.
All right,
Oh.
here's the plan. Giant Kaboon goes in, bites one of them. While they're distracted, the rest of us go in and just kick their asses and governate.
Well, I was going to sneak in first and get in position
Right.
and let you guys get there.
What were there any other smaller buildings like close to this building, like chicken coops or something like? Are we going to be able to like up close, or is it just like a church with nothing around it and we have to run in?
I'll give them the okay.
Yeah, there's like the houses that are scanned around, and it does seem like there is like smaller structures that you may potentially be able to depending on how you do make your way closer. Triss is going to have a hard time getting close without being noticed, as
Sure.
she is massive.
Why don't we have Triss act a little bit as a distraction as well? And appear as though she's coming into town beaten and exhausted and looking for help. saying like, I need help, my friends, get that sort of thing to draw, I mean, that could, so instead of trying to hide, Nyx looks to her, kind of try and allow us to hide instead.
I mean, she is rather difficult to hide, but they're gonna know her, I think, because, I mean, granted, Triss, you do have some new armor. It's very cool. I like it. However, you still pretty much look like the very large horned giant that we fought, or that they fought and fled. I don't think they're gonna care, other than to like maybe attack her.
Right. No, exactly. Like, but Triss isn't going to be able to hide to get in.
Right.
So they are going to see her. If she acts as though she doesn't know they're here and she's just looking for help from the villagers, then maybe they will be like, we are just going to be quiet and set a trap for her. Or, I mean, they may come out, which would be good because then they would be away from the people that they're holding captive.
So you want her to just kind of like wander around calling for help.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
I mean, I could try. I'm not a great performer, but sure, if that's what you guys want me to do.
Do you want me to smack you up some? Because you need to like look like you're, in danger or something.
No.
I have faith in you.
Thanks. I appreciate the faith, I guess.
Grace, do you want to accompany her, or maybe you can try and come with us, but send your little apparition with her?
Oh, I mean, you mean my duplicate?
Right.
Yeah.
Further add to the confusion of what is actually going on.
I guess I could send my spirit version of me with her. Sure.
What if I snuck around and set the building on fire? Would that help?
It would help burn down the building.
Right, they'd be distracting.
I don't want to hurt the villagers.
Well, they can flee. I'm not gonna lock the door.
Not if they can't, but because the other people aren't letting them.
What are they gonna all just stand in there and let themselves burn to death?
Well, they could leave and lock the door.
That'd be horrible. Who would do that?
I don't know. Maybe the people that killed our friends.
We should kick their asses.
Do you know where they were inside the building, and do they happen to be close to a wall that they think cannot be cut through?
Well, at the time, yeah. But I don't know if they're there now.
Perfect. Another option is
I just see Nyx going full like lightsaber over here. He's just like,
I mean, that's what it is. That's what the sword of light and flame is. It is a lightsaber. Let's be real. That's what it is.
When you have a lightsaber, everything looks like it's a hand.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, let's not forget that that's probably where they took their inspiration.
No.
It's literally a light sword. Like,
laser sword. It's a laser sword.
I mean, we could just enter through a place that they don't expect. Like the back of Volkswagen.
Oh, man, guys.
Yes.
Guys.
We need some more feminine presence in this game.
I am not
Don't
sure.
Look at me. I'm
just
here.
saying I'm not sure that our group is going to actually be the presence you think that they're going to be, but
Jesus.
All right. You're on distraction duty, Estoy. Like, sneak in, chomp. You're on distraction duty for pretending to be a helpless giant lady with horns. I'm still not 100%, but hey, you're not going to sneak very well. The rest of us are going to sneak around and help those people. But your thing about, are there any other buildings around that church, that got me thinking, what if that guy's in one of those buildings waiting for us because they saw us or something? Or they're like you, Nix, where they like did like some kind of like, I want to know the future kind of thing, and they saw us coming.
They might, but we won't know until we know.
Right. But what if he's in one of the buildings? Should we like burn those down or something?
No. If he's in one of the buildings, he's in one of the buildings. We'll go to that building.
All right, to the church.
I'm not going to be a governor of a burnt down town.
It's up to you to save them.
Okay.
Well, why don't we sneak together up to the point where I need to break off, just in case we get called first.
Can't you just like fly over, and if we get caught, then you just like crap in their eyes? I've got bird crap in my eyes before. It's real. It's bad. It stings. I had pink eye for like 3 days.
I'm going to begin to head off stealthily.
Oh, we're going.
Okay, so if the group of you are heading out stealthily, everyone, I guess, except for Triss, I will need a group finesse check. I will need somebody to lead the stealth roll.
Before I start sneaking, I will turn into a rat and jump up on Nyx's shoulders.
I got...
Well, who's leading? I need to know who's leading first.
I can or you can not, but you were talking. So I think I will, because I just headed off.
What's your finesse?
I got a +2.
Sure. Mine's the same, but that means we're just going to roll the same, so... So are we rolling to see what if we add to his roll?
Correct.
Oh, I thought that was another crit, but no.
Yeah, Grace makes a second version of herself to stay with Triss. Grace got a 14. What did you get, Knots?
Knots got a 19.
And what did
Do you need
get?
Kaboon or not?
Yeah, give me Kaboon as well.
Do you want the rat to roll on the shoulder? Okay.
17 for Kaboon.
Okay.
19. And so I get advantage on sneaking in this form. 23, 24.
Okay. You get a +3 to your roll.
I got 2 11s.
Oh, no, yeah.
You can take a hope and clear a stress. Yeah, and the group of you quickly move towards the town. You can see that you guys quickly recognize that you are leaving footprints behind you. So Grace quickly starts like sweeping it up with like magic. Just starts sweeping the footprints from behind as you guys move forward towards the main hall. It is not a church. It is more like a meeting hall. Less church, more meeting hall. And start moving in that direction. As you get closer, and you guys are coming up behind like the first kind of house that is there to like hide behind, Grace like holds up her hand for all of you to kind of like stop and says, I feel something. There's some kind of magic surrounding the town, and I'm gonna have her roll to see if she can figure out what it is. That is great. That is a 25 with hope. She's like, I think it's an alarm. There's an alarm layered with a trigger of some kind, like the alarm, like when you toss it, triggers an effect. And I think the effect I know it's not good. It'll do something to the people that trigger the alarm. I think it will restrain us in place.
Can you make it go away?
I mean, I can try to maybe bend a hole for us to slide through. I think it'd be pretty recognizable if the whole bubble went away. But maybe I could give us a hole to slip through.
That's a good idea.
I will not lower Bailey right now. I will not lower Bailey right now.
A hole to slip through. And I will have her roll.
You went Sam instead. That's a 12. Yeah, that's a 12 with fear. So she tries, she reaches out, and you can kind of see this bit of like magic wrapping around her fingertips as she tries to like kind of pull an invisible force in front of her. And you get the idea that she's pulling something, and then you can feel it like slip between her fingers and slam shut, and you hear this chime go off that echoes across like the town. An audible chime that goes off.
So much for sneaking.
We short rested, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, just double checking. I'll say, well, so much for that. I'm going to reach out and pat. So I think I'm going to give this to a Stoy because you're going into Chomp. I'm going to give you that thorn skin. So you are going to get 4? Yes, 4d6s. When you take incoming damage, you can roll a d6, reduce the damage by that amount, and the attacker, if in melee, is dealt that much damage back to them.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say you guys all kind of have a moment to prep something if you wish. Will say since we're missing 2 of our members, this might be where we end
Sure.
for the night. So, but if there's anything you guys want to do to prep before, like as the chime goes off, something that you use to prep, you're more than welcome to put that off right now if you wish.
You have been thorn-skinned.
Thank you.
I will have Triss, as soon as the alarm goes off, Triss is like beelining to go into the village to be the distraction in the hope that maybe they'll think she's the one that
Gotcha.
said
Yeah,
it.
maybe I was about to thorn-skin Triss. She just runs off and like,
Well, Triss is away from you
totally
because
for
you guys
you,
split off.
Astoy.
You guys split off, so you can still thorn skin
Fair.
Astoy. But yeah, I'll have Triss's moving to just move in to see if
Perfect.
she can be the trigger.
Well, awesome.
Woohoo.
But that way, hopefully, I mean, we end a little early, but hopefully that way we'll have everybody on our next session in 2 weeks to participate in this event.
You got to
Right.
put peer pressure on your friends, Carly.
Right.
We all know how well that goes. I haven't had a D&D home game D&D session in like 2 months. So
Aw. Well, like Carly said, the next Daggerheart game is in 2 weeks on the 24th, so tune in for that as we find out what happens with these people we've been hunting for several games now. We finally caught up with them. And next Friday at this time, we are going to do a one-shot of Tales of the Valiant. So tune in for that. It is a 5th edition adjacent game created by Darrington Press. Checking that out for a session while we have a off week for Daggerheart. And then tomorrow, tune in at 2 p.m. Eastern as we're doing some Historia, which is a D&D 5th edition setting where everyone is anthropomorphic animals in a kind of Renaissance Italian era fantasy setting. It's going to be super cute, super fun. Actually, I shouldn't say super cute. It's going to be super fun, and they're going to be awesome animals that are probably going to create a lot of chaos and carnage. Should be interesting. Does anyone else have things coming up they want to share?
Well, Wednesdays on what's the channel called? Oh, I don't even know what it's called.
Dirty Vortex.
There you go. It's like it was something naughty. Lauren and I are playing in a D&D game, and well, if you really want some terrible sibling energy, me and Sid have you covered. You know the siblings
really
that
fun
fight all the time? That's us.
Yeah, it was really fun to
We're
watch.
stuck in a video game.
Episode 1 was like a ton of fun to watch and really made me realize I'm so glad that I don't have siblings. So thanks for that, Carly.
I mean, what sibling hasn't made another sibling believe that they are colorblind?
From now on, I'm going to ask siblings. So, just out of curiosity,
I'm very excited to be doing that to that sort of thing to my son. As he grows older.
Excellent.
That's not red. What are you talking about?
Right? Nice. So just a shout out on the channel for that. It's twitch.tv/Dirty Vortex. Speaking of holes that you can slip into. And then also on on Wednesdays, earlier in the day at 1 p.m. Eastern, we do For the Horde of the Dragon Queen, which is our Tyranny of Dragons playthrough, but they're playing the Cultists. Although I feel like as of this last game, they have pretty much given up on trying to summon Tiamat, and they are going to actively be, there's spoilers. I'm not going to spoil, but there's been some crisis of faith going on. So tune in for that. It's been a ton of fun. I can spoil
something for my game.
For this game?
No. No, for the Dirty Vortex game.
Oh, darn.
I am a teleporting, flying, telekinetic bear that can shoot out
lasers
of radiant damage.
Right.
That sounds balanced.
It was super.
Circle the Moon Druid,
right?
level 4.
Ton of fun. We're going to raid over to Folk and Myth. They're playing some. They're actually starting their new Vampire the Masquerade game, I think.
Ooh.
So we're going to head over there. Please hang out while we do so. Thanks, Jason, for the pupper treat. I will deliver that when we go off the air. It's good to see everybody. We will see you next time. Have a good night, folks.
How can vampires compete with laser bears?
It's true. It's true. See you, everybody.
Later.